Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Jake Jaboreli of Jaboreli.com. Just a bunch of referral links. So, we've got some numbers in front of you, and I want to talk about the practicality of Fundamental Global and other things like it. I got a little bit of negative feedback on my unsustainable video a few days ago. Some people seem to misunderstand my intent. I'm talking about the long run with it being unsustainable. It might have already been around for a year. Honestly, that's rather impressive to me. I'm not a financial genius, and I'm definitely not a banker. And honestly, if you look at my track record as far as money goes, why are you watching this? But that's my real life, not this internet thing. What I want to talk about is how to make this a practical thing. So I have this on, let me just get to the gist of it here. Take out a $5,000 loan. Doesn't really matter how much the interest is unless it's 1,000%, which as far as I know doesn't exist even with loan sharks. They usually deal in, 250 or 500%. Still ridiculously high. Far higher than you're going to get out of this loan, so don't go with a loan shark. Regardless, try to find a bank, try to find a cryptocurrency company that'll give you, $5 grand. It doesn't have to be $5 grand, it can be $1 grand. It just needs to be a relatively large amount of money. 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand. Doesn't really matter if it's a large amount or a small, or like I said, 1,000 or 5,000. 5,000 is just an easy number to work with, in my opinion. That's a number I know I could pay back if something went south. So, take out $5,000 loan. I'm proposing a 9% interest. That's a little high, but that's not bad. Doesn't really matter. We'll play with the numbers later, but let me just go through how this works. Fundamental Global is paying you 1% daily, which if it were a year-long loan would be 365%, 1% per day, right? 365 days in a year, 365%. That's really high, really, really high. So the point here is to make your money back quickly. They pay you every week, 1% a day, 7% a week. You can get as high as 8% if you put up a large amount of money, like 5,000. But the nice thing about this little calculator tool, I'm going to leave it online so you guys can check it out too, and play with it, is to make it a quick return. So, take the 5 grand, let's say at 9%, their normal expectation of you paying it back, let's say 24 months, you're gonna pay it all back in 2 months. That $5,000 you're gonna pay back 2 months. That's why I put 2 months here. Your interest that you can earn is 365, which is a lot higher than 9. But even if you were going to do the 5,000, 9%, like $250 a month to pay it back. It's like a small, cheap used car loan, at least in the United States. I don't know what it is out everywhere else. Your cost over that 2-month period, let's say if I knocked it down to 1, you'd see this number change. There it is, there, okay. 2 months period, it's going to be about $450. That's how much you're going to pay them to have that money in 2 months span of time. So you have to know that you're going to be able to pay this amount of money. You're going to make $3,600 total on this at this percent in this 2 months using FMG. This is how much you're going to get. But you got to pay this, so this is actually how much you're going to get. But in 2 months, you're going to make $3,150 roughly dollars on taking out a 5 grand loan. Massive gain, absolutely gargantuan. Obviously, if you went for the full year, which I don't think is possible, you could do better. Let's just speculate. Let's say we spent 3 months. There's your gain. You actually gained. I mean, this is after. I'm taking out the $5,000. It would actually be $10,600, but I'm just showing you your gain minus your loan. So you gain this because you had to pay a cost for borrowing the money for 3 months, but you come back with $5,600. and you pay the month. You pay. He's like, here's your $5 grand. Thanks for letting me borrow $5 grand for 3 months. And now you have $5,600. Like I said, if assuming 3 months, you can make it 3 months. Maybe FMG will last that long. Maybe it's already been around that long. But I think an example, and I know I mentioned this guy before, Tony, the whale miner guy. If you've watched his channel, he talks about FMG. And he has a lot of money invested. I think about a whole Bitcoin. Let's speculate on his. A Bitcoin's worth what, $9,500 right now? So let's say you borrowed $9,500 over. Let's go with the original 2 months period. You know, from a. I think most people are going to buy this. Let's say it was a 36-month total loan. You know, like let's say a used car. Let's make it a bad loan. Let's make it a really expensive, like someone has poor credit, really poor credit, 17%. It might be higher, but I'm just picking a number out of the air. So in 2 months, $9,500 is going to cost you nearly $700, but you're going to make $6,800, or come away with a little over $6,000 in 2 months. So the point here is, go borrow some money, knowing that if you lose it all, you're going to have a payment. Let me put the 1 month in here, what your payment will be. If you got a 36-month loan at 17% interest, it costs me $338 a month for the next 36 months, or however many months you have left. But if you don't lose it and end up being able to return it to them, you could make, I mean, like I said, we did with 1 month, you'd make, you know, $3 grand, $2,500. But if you could do 2 months, which is more ideal, obviously the higher the number, the better. But let's do 2 because it's quick turnaround. Just, you know, 60 days-ish. And then, well, it's actually 56 days. But never mind. The point is, it's a short-term loan. You pay the entire amount of money back plus the interest that you've basically incurred for those 2 months, and you come away with a little over $6,000. So it can be done with any amount. Now the problem, of course, with going higher is you have to be able to find someone who's willing to loan you that much money. And if you already have poor credit, like this interest implies, it's less likely that they're going to give it to you. Now I think Lending Tree will do larger loans. I don't know if they'll go above 35,000, but let's just say, oops, wrong place, speculatively, 35,000 at a really high interest rate of like 22.5%. And let's shorten the loan so that the interest gets much higher. Over 2 months, you're going to incur on a $35,000 loan $3,600 in cost, but you're going to easily overcome it. And they're going to be like, wow, you gave us our money back, and you were a bad loan. Oh, I can't believe this. Hey, I'll loan you another $35,000 if you're going to give it all back to me in 2 months and plus the interest. So, but by that point, you'd already have $25,000 you can play with. So, the whole point of this short video is to show you that, let's go back to the original here, at a more reasonable interest rate, you can make a lot of money really, really quickly off of borrowing from someone else and putting it into FMG for a very short period of time and then taking it out when you're done, and then going on your merry way with, you know, an extra $3 grand in your pocket. So I hope that this generalization, I mean, this is factually how it works, gives you a clue as to how it can be used to make money. Now, just because I wanted to talk about the speculative, like let's say it was the full long-term thing, and I know I've talked about this in a previous video, actually in the FMV video where I tried to debunk it. If you took that $5,000 and you went for the full term, let's say the whole time, $3.3 million, it just sounds ludicrous. Who would give somebody $3.3 million for a measly investment of $5,000? I don't think anybody would. So that's the reason that this is unsustainable in my opinion. I just can't, I mean, yes, it's just numbers, right? It's got to work somehow, maybe. But I don't believe that this is how it's supposed to work. So I just wanted to make a point that this is silly. So keep it short. Make a little cash and get out. Put your money back. anyways, that's all I have to say. As I've been reminded by so many people as of late, if you like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up and comment down below. If you think I've done something wrong, I'd love to know. Please tell me your thoughts. People have done so, and I really appreciate that. I like the conversation. But if you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to my channel. And I plan on making more videos, investment and the like, particularly having to do with crypto. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.